Hey everybody, how you doing? And I hope you're well. I congratulate Ray Bobbitt and the African American Sports and Entertainment Group, or AASEG. The AAGSEG, or African American Sports Entertainment Group, I want to make sure everybody understands that, represents the first Black development organization to ever secure an exclusive negotiating agreement to build the Oakland-Alameda County Coliseum Complex. That's the reason the press conference event was held at the Oakland Coliseum on the second day of Black History Month 2023. It's very important. The gathering was a collection of Oakland politicians, including Oakland Mayor Sheng, Thao, Oakland District 3 City Councilmember Carroll, Fife, Oakland District 4 City Council Member Janani Rachmanandran, Oakland District 5 City Council Member Noel Gallo, Oakland District 6 City Council Member Kevin Jenkins, and Oakland District 7 Council Member Treva Reid. Joining them were community legends like Oakland Post publisher Paul Cobb, community organizer John Jones, the former Oakland administrator / city manager Robert Bobb, and others. But the main problem with all of this is the table should have been even bigger, folks. It consisted of East Oakland Black leaders, okay? But only those folks who basically, for all practical purposes, like each other. And not Black people needed to get the job done, or people needed to get the job done. And that's what Ray Bobbitt has to avoid if he expects to achieve any success in this. The constant Oakland crab barrel problem. Crab barrel, we're on the same barrel and want to pull you down. When I headed Oakland's only bid to host a Super Bowl game from 1999 to 2000 for the 2005 Super Bowl, really 1999 to 2001, I single-handedly created the nonprofit Oakland-Alameda County Sports Commission and got federal approval for it, nonprofit designation, in just 4 months, when then Oakland City Attorney Jane Williams told me, and Coliseum Executive Director at the time, Dina McClain, told me it would take 2 years. I built a team of over 60, consisting of hotel general managers, sports marketers like my friend Beth Schnitzer, sports agents like my friend Lee Steinberg, Patrick Mahomes' agent, and most important in Oakland, people who may have, in some cases, had issues with me personally, but for whom I found a need for. People like the late news entrepreneur Sanjeev Honda, to name someone foremost among them. I gave Sanjeev a City of Oakland watchdog, a watchdog role over the doings of our Oakland-Alameda County Sports Commission. Certainly did. Sanjeev did very well at keeping me out of trouble, okay? And that leads to my point. Ray Bobbitt already has a lot of people standing outside his tent, and they're looking at it with anger. Who's in the group? Well, folks like the older Oakland friend who worked for the city and knows everyone, who shockingly described the group as, quote, a joke, unquote, because they didn't, quote, have any money, unquote, when I asked for his opinion. It's not true, by the way. I took that to mean he wasn't consulted to help them. That's a big error. It's a big error. And folks like me who have helped Ray, but was frozen out of asking questions at the event. The idea was that press, I thought, was supposed to be able to ask questions on Zoom, right? But the only Zoom question that was read was one that focused on community involvement, yet never actually was written by anyone who was in the Zoom chat. I know, folks, I was there. I even texted Ray about it. I got no response whatsoever. But there's an ongoing effort among some Oakland politicians to recognize the Oakland Post as, quote, the only black media and ignore Zenny's 62 media, thereby forming another wedge, or trying to. I had my hand up to ask a question on Zoom, yet a representative, Sandra Varner, the African-American PR person who put together the press conference, did not call on me or anyone else. That included a reporter from KQED who asked openly on chat, wrote this: "Can anyone explain what the purpose of this press conference is?" As Ray Bobbitt was the director of something more out of a church revival than a true press event. I texted that it was the announcement of the, quote, first ENA, exclusive negotiating agreement ever given to a black developer for the Oakland Coliseum in history. He said, thanks. Okay. And then there was the constant question, where's the Oakland A's? There was no one, not even a representative of any Oakland A's fan group. No one. Even if Dave Cobb wasn't there, Ray and company certainly should have had, the fan group there, right? They're part of the community Ray will have to work with too, don't you think? Of course. Bringing people in and circling the wagons, and then doing it some more, bringing people in and circling the wagons. That's what the AASEG has to do. And at the same time, creating a certain and doable project. From what Ray Bobbitt presented today, it's already an uphill battle. Stay tuned. I don't say this to be jocular or nasty or put anyone down, but I'm sending out the message that you really, truly have to include in everybody. You cannot involve in functions like what the African American Sports Entertainment Group wants to do, say, well, I only deal with certain people when I want to. Again, when I was working on the Super Bowl, and I say that pointedly because now you can't even bid on the Super Bowl game. So what I did is truly a thing of the past, and I'm only one of a handful of people in the world and in NFL history to have done it. Form a bid for the Super Bowl. That takes making not just one organization, but several, causing assignments for a number of people to happen, fundraising to make those assignments funded where necessary, and monitoring and changing the organizations, plural, as you go until your objectives are reached. That's what a Super Bowl bidder does. It's not, putting together a pretty picture book, as a lot of people think it is or was. No, that's one small part of it. And you hire a public relations organization and an organization like GMO Hill Holiday, an ad organization, to take care of that for you. And you pay them appropriately and hopefully handsomely. I mean, as a momentary aside, you're responsible for the Super Bowl for the region, which basically winds up being a pretty powerful place to be. Why? Because everybody wants a Super Bowl ticket or wants to think they have access to one. That's why. So Ray is in a position in a Oakland where people are starved for employment, as layoffs are happening left and right, and the tech sector is quite literally withdrawing in its size because they need employment. They want to know that this is going to point to a net buildup of jobs and money and economic development and opportunity. But in order to make that happen, you have to make sure that everybody is on the bus with you and everyone has a seat. It's a hard job, but that's the way it is. Subscribe to Zenny62 and bookmark oaklandnewsnowblog.com. That ends this broadcast.